It having reached the hour of 5:30, I am calling the March 5th, 2024 Modesto City Council meeting to order and ask the city clerk to call the roll.
Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Here.
Councilmember Ricky.
Here.
Councilmember Lavaro.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Wright.
Here.
Councilmember Scudia-Brayton.
Here.
Mayor Zwallen.
Here. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation from Todd Zwallen from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we are grateful to gather as citizens and city council members and others who serve the city to discuss the needs of our community. We're grateful for those that spend the time to serve Modesto. Bless them and their families with peace, and bless them with wisdom that they may know how to best help our community. Bless the citizens of Modesto that we can be strengthened, that we can look to each other and be united in goodwill towards everyone. And we are grateful for the blessings that we have to live in this wonderful country. And as we make decisions about who we vote for and how we're involved, please inspire us to do the most good for as many people. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Thank you. And in the spirit of transparency, that is my son, my third son.
All right.
And thank you, Todd, for being here this evening. Does the city clerk have any announcements?
Yes, Mayor. Just a reminder, public comment is 3 minutes, and there are blue speaker cards at the entrance of the chambers.
Thank you. Do any of the council members have any conflicts of interest?
No.
All right. Will the city attorney report out on closed session, please?
Yes, Mayor. The council met related to existing litigation. No reportable action was taken.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is acknowledgements and presentations. And the first is a proclamation declaring March as National Women's History Month. I will read the proclamation. Throughout American history, women of all ages, backgrounds, and beliefs have made countless contributions to society through our advocacy, talents, and resilience, enriching our community's cultural, political, and socioeconomic fabric. And the 2024 theme for National Women's History Month is Women Who Advocate for Equality, Diversity, and Inclusion. This theme honors and recognizes the vital role women across the nation play in striving towards a society where bias and discrimination have no place, advocating for a future built on the principles of fairness, justice, and inclusivity. And women from diverse backgrounds have worked to highlight and dismantle the systemic inequalities within our institutions and social fabric, driven by the belief that true equality and justice flourish on a foundation of fairness for all. And with unwavering courage and resilience, women have stood strong, even amid challenges and misunderstandings. Across the nation, women are leading the way in creating innovative solutions within corporations, the military, federal agencies, and educational institutions to advance justice. And now, therefore, I, Sue Zwallen, hereby proclaim March 2024 as National Women's History Month in the City of Modesto and urge all residents to recognize and celebrate the contributions of women to our society. Let us especially honor the women, both past and present, of our local community who have led and continue to lead efforts to ensure a more fair, equal, and inclusive world for all. Dated this 5th day of March, 2024. Jane Manley, President of Stanislaus County Commission for Women, will address us.
Good evening. I'm here tonight with our Vice President of Membership, Ruhi Sheikh, and thank you for this opportunity and happy Election Day. In 1980, the Women's History Project led a coalition of women's groups who successfully lobbied President Carter to issue a proclamation such as the mayor just so eloquently read, to recognize National Women's History Week. And it wasn't until 1987 that Congress finally passed a law designating March as Women's History Month. Locally, the Stanislaus County Commission for Women was founded in 1979 with the purpose of promoting women through recognition of our accomplishments. Our founding mothers believed that only collective action would alleviate existing inequalities for women both in the workplace and at home. We're an all-volunteer organization known mostly for our annual recognition of outstanding women in our county. Since 1980, we have honored more than 640 women, and we are getting ready to honor our 2024 group this Saturday. We also encourage women to run for political office and are pleased to see women sitting on our city council and as mayor. And speaking of history and political office, do you all know about Esto Broughton? You heard of Esto Broughton? Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit. Esto was born here in Modesto, and she was the very first woman to ever serve in the California state legislature. She was born in 1890. Here's a photo.
What's her last name again?
Broughton.
How do you
There's
spell
two
that?
streets named for her in Modesto.
How do you spell it?
Broughton. Esto. She was born here in 1890. Show the folks in the back. She attended school in San Francisco and Berkeley, and eventually she received a law degree. So she was also the first woman lawyer in Modesto, in our county. In 1918, she ran for the state legislature, and she represented was called the 46th district, which included our county and San Joaquin. Women didn't even get the vote nationally until 1920, but in California, they granted it in 1911. Much of the legislation she sponsored focused on irrigation and water rights. She also helped pass community property laws so that a woman had full access to property and her own wages instead of having to hand them over to her husband. She served until 1928, including presiding as Speaker of the legislature. Later in her career, she studied drama, stayed active in politics, became a journalist, and practiced law. During World War II, she fought for the civil rights of Japanese Americans who were sent to the relocation camps. We're very proud that Esther Broughton had so many accomplishments, and she was here from our county, and we appreciate this opportunity to share some of it with you.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments from council members?
Esto?
Yes, Jeremiah Williams.
I think, No, I was just going to say Esto, the later half of Modesto. That's interesting.
Oh, that's a good point.
Is that how her first name was spelled?
ESTO. I have no idea
EST.
where it came from.
That's all.
All right, Jeremiah Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the real woman of my life, which was my mother. Although I didn't get the opportunity to spend a lifetime with her, she's no longer with us. But the other women in my life is my wife of 38 years and my daughters, and not only them, but women in this community that have stepped up to the plate and that have made sure that this city can be called Modesto, and also to include the two women that we reside with right now, who are my colleagues, the mayor and city councilwoman. I forgot her name.
Rosa.
It was moving right along, and then the train got in the way. You know, those trains. But all the women of Modesto, thank you for everything you have done. And no doubt, the most important person who was really thankful for a woman, it was Adam.
All right. I just wanted to ask What year did you say this was first brought to Jimmy Carter? I think you said, was it
1980.
1980. And then when did it actually begin? How many years?
Did I get that right? Hold on. Yeah, it must have been right before he lost. It was 1980, and then the Congress passed Women's History Month in '87.
All right, so 7 years there. And then what year were women, I want to hear that again. The
Women were granted the
allowed
vote
to-
in California in 1911.
But not nationwide
Till
until
1920.
1920.
We were
That
ahead of
still
the curve.
just astounds me when I
Yeah.
hear that. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, thank you so much for bringing this history. We will bring the proclamation down. Okay, we're good. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
All right, item 2, a proclamation declaring March 7th, 2024 as the day to celebrate Arbor Day in the City of Modesto, and I will read the proclamation. The City of Modesto is home to a remarkable forest ecosystem, hosting a total of approximately 100,000 trees. Among them are 81,000 street trees and an estimated 15,000 to 20,000 park trees, each contributing to the enrichment of our community through their aesthetic appeal, provision of shade, and ecological advantages. And in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. This holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. They are a renewable source, giving us paper, wood for homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And trees, whenever they are planted, are a source of joy and renewal. And now, therefore, I, Suze Wallen, hereby proclaim March 7th, 2024 as the day to celebrate Arbor Day in the City of Modesto and urge all residents to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. Nancy Robinson from the Modesto Garden Club, as president, will be accepting the proclamation and has a few remarks.
Good evening, Mayor Wallen and members of the Modesto City Council. My name is Nancy Robinson. I am president of the Modesto Garden Club. I'm here tonight to let you know about a special event we are having this coming Thursday morning. Thursday, March 7th is Arbor Day. That morning at 10 o'clock at the Modesto Senior Citizen Center, which is located at 211 Bodum in Modesto, we will be having an Arbor Day celebration. Arbor Day is a day to celebrate the planting of trees and is done throughout the United States. Arbor Day commemorates the planting, upkeep, and preservation of trees. It is a day to reflect on the importance of trees across our city, state, and nation. It is said that one tree can remove up to 6.2 tons of carbon dioxide each year and puts out 4 tons of oxygen, which is enough to meet the annual needs of 18 people. And Mayor, the proclamation that you read was very eloquent. One of the members of our club was able to secure a donation of a peach tree from Birchall Nursery for this occasion. Our mayor, Suze Wallen, will be presenting this proclamation from the city. Thank you, Mayor. Dave Provost from Morris Nursery will be planting the tree and instructing the attendees on planting and pruning techniques. This tree is being planted in memory of 4 previous members of the Modesto Garden Club, and their names are Penny Biney, one of our past presidents, and her husband Dan, Joyce Smith, Bev Oldershaw, and Sue Cabassi. Today, I'm here as president of the Modesto Garden Club to encourage as many people as possible to attend our Arbor Day celebration to show support for Arbor Day and the Senior Citizen Center. Hopefully, many of you have seen the beautiful banners that are being displayed in 9 locations around the city downtown area. Not only are these banners commemorating our Modesto Garden Club's centennial year, but they are also announcing our upcoming Spring Garden Tour. The Spring Garden Tour will be held on Saturday, April 20th, and will feature 6 lovely, diverse, and owner-maintained gardens in Modesto. There will be special refreshments, and attendees may buy tickets for fabulous Rapportunity prizes. Tickets for the tour may be purchased at a number of local businesses as well as the Garden Club office and website. Thank you for your attention this evening, and are there any questions?
All right, any questions or comments from council members? Jeremiah Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mrs. Robinson, you, and of course, your entire garden club. 377 members, I understand?
392 at this
Oh,
point.
it grew already, 392, for beautifying our community and always making sure that things are done decently and in order. God bless you for that.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Any other comments? Seeing none, thank you for being here this evening, and I will now bring the proclamation down and present it.
Thank you.
This is a bigger job than what you anticipated. But you know what, you're doing a great job. Yeah, well, you're doing it.
Doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you once again. You're welcome anytime. I'll be there.
Congratulations.
Excuse me, Jeremiah.
Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, next is item 3. Consider accepting the resignation of Michelle Buer from the City of Modesto Golf Courses Advisory Committee. Does council have any questions of staff? Seeing none, I'll open this up to the public regarding item 3. Close public comments. Any comments from council members? All right, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Wright.
Second.
Second from Councilmember Scooty Brayton. Will the clerk please call the roll for this item?
Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
Councilmember Scudetto Brayton.
Aye.
And Mayor Wallen.
Aye. Carries unanimously. As noted on the agenda, public comment will only be in person. Zoom will still be available for viewing, and wordly translation. Does anyone wish to speak on any item under public comment? This is for items not on the council agenda. You have 3 minutes to speak. Anyone wishing to address the city council is asked to follow the rules of decorum. The rules of decorum are posted at the entrance of the chambers. Is there anyone wishing to come forward at this time to speak regarding items not on the agenda? Seeing none, we will close public comment period. Next on the agenda is consent items. An item may be removed from consent and discussed at the request of a member of the public or council member. Is there anyone on the council that would like a consent item removed for further discussion? Seeing none, is there anyone in the public that would like an item removed from consent for further discussion or comment? I do not see anyone in public. Will the city clerk please read the consent items?
Yes, Mayor. Item 4, consider approving the minutes from the February 27, 2024 council meeting. Item 5, consider approving the recommended budget adjustments to fiscal year 2023-2024 annual operating and CIP budgets. Item 6, consider accepting an informational report for the January 2024 accounts payable payment register and void report. Item 7, consider approving the master and purchasing agreements with Office Depot out of Boca Raton, Florida, Staples Contract and Commercial Incorporated out of Boston, Massachusetts, and Warden's Office out of Modesto for the purchase of office supplies and furniture for a total amount not to exceed $2 million over 5 years. Item 8, consider approving the agreements for fleet tire purchases with McCoy Truck Tire out of Modesto and Valley Tire out of Modesto for a total amount not to exceed $3,400,000 over 5 years. Item 9, consider approving an agreement for online public auction services to the public group DBA Public Surplus out of Provo, Utah for a total amount not to exceed $150,000 over 5 years. Item 10, consider approving an agreement for bottled water delivery services for citywide locations to Blue Triton brands, DBA Ready Refresh out of Livermore, California, and DS Services of America Incorporated, DBA Primo Water North America out of Manteca, California for a total amount not to exceed $600,000 over 5 years.
All right, may I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Motion?
Have a motion from Councilmember Wright. Second. The second from Councilmember Williams. Will the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor.
Sorry, wait a minute. Did I get that? I cannot tell your voices apart.
You can't tell my voice over?
Well, no, when you
What?
just say, yeah, I don't get it. Obviously, Jeremiah Williams made the motion, and David Wright made the second. Well, I need to look down that way, I guess. Let's see. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Yes.
Councilmember Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
Councilmember Scudia-Brayton.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwallen.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next on the agenda is council comments and report. Do any of the council members have any comments and reports? Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Thank you, Mayor. Be very brief today. I just want to thank Burbank Elementary for inviting me to read to their 4th grade classes this morning for National Read Across America Day. As a Burbank alumni, this was a full circle moment for me. So it was very nice to be able to have, a little walk down memory lane and be able to engage with students in the seats that I once sat. And so I'm very appreciative of their invitation. I'm looking forward to doing that as much as I can. So again, just thank you to Burbank Elementary for inviting me out today.
All right. Councilmember Escudia-Brayton.
Thank you, Mayor. I am honored to be a member of the San Joaquin Valley Regional Policy Council. And as such, I'm going to be one of 6 elected officials from Central Valley that we will be going to our state capitol next week to advocate for our region's interests. We will be meeting one-on-one with our Central Valley statewide elected officials. We will be sharing with them how they can provide support and to not only Modesto, but to our larger region. Specifically, we're going to be addressing a few items. One, we'll be discussing how we can collaborate on leveraging state funds to address mobility, safety, and goods movement. An example of this might be how we can access funding to complete SR 99, State Route 99. This, for all intents and purposes, was supposed to be a 6-lane route. It's not that completely from Northern to Southern California. And for purposes of goods movement and safety, we feel it's advantageous to continue to advocate for full funding support to make that happen. in addition to other regional roads. Another platform that we will be advocating on is having our region receive their fair share of transit funding. An example of this is pursuing additional resources to the sales tax on diesel to provide stable and predictable transit funding. Diesel is becoming, automobiles are becoming antiquated. I'm trying to measure my words here, but we need to find an additional source of funding to rather than sales tax on diesel. So that's going to be something we're advocating for. 3, we're going to be seeking support for our air quality, equity, and mobility initiatives. An example of that is supporting multimodal investment while finishing highway projects that facilitate safe and goods movement. An example of that would be completion of 132. So we're seeking funding support for that type of project and other projects similar to that. Also, another example of this would be to restore funding into the farmers program that provides clean equipment for agriculture, harvesting, and transport. So these are just 3 of the many initiatives we will be meeting one-on-one with our statewide elected officials to try to garnish support and funding support on. If anyone wishes to get more information on our advocacy efforts in these areas, feel free to click on to sjvcogs.org for more information. Today's election day, very exciting. I hope that everyone got out and voted. It's just, it's our privilege and our honor and our responsibility to get out there. And I, for one, am glad I participated in that privilege. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. And I hope that you would get the opportunity to talk about the speech contest that was this prior week. But I would like to focus my attention on the NAACP Freedom Fund dinner that's going to be happening on March 16th at the Central Plaza. Tickets are still on sale. If you want to get tickets, you want to go to naacp.com. They are honoring individuals and groups like Love Stanislaus, of course, Jeff Pinsky is a part of that, and Leroy Gambrell, who actually is one of the founding members of the King Kennedy Board of Directors, and there are a few others that will be honored that evening, but that is March 16th at the Central Plaza. Tickets are still available. Hopefully you can make that and support the NAACP Freedom Fund banquet. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Ricky.
Thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows about our Modesto's ADU dashboard. What's an ADU? It's an accessory dwelling unit. It used to be really hard to build them. The permitting was really difficult. The fees were hard. And a lot of times it just didn't make sense. Actually, in my house, I have an unfinished ADU above my garage. It's just kind of a storage space now just because they couldn't afford the permitting. But times have changed, and the state and the city are making it really easy to make an ADU. So all you have to do, go to Google, you search Modesto ADU dashboard, and you get the 8 steps to building your ADU or mother-in-law quarters. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This includes things like free designs that are pre-approved. So what does that mean? That means no architect fees, no waiting around for design approvals. It includes reduced fees, and the City of Modesto helps you make it happen. And so the numbers prove the point. This year, the city approved 200 ADUs. That's more than 100 units than the previous year. So check it out, Modesto's ADU dashboard. It's a great way to create like an income property. It's a great place for family to live, and it's going to also reduce our housing shortage. So that's super important and should be a priority. I'm also excited to talk about the Garage Fest that I'm working on with Visit Modesto. It's a garage sale fest, a citywide garage sale day, and it's happening on 4/20. Garage sales, right? Garage sales, they're a great way to raise a few bucks, right? But it's also a great way to recycle stuff that might otherwise end up in the landfill. So if you're sorting stuff, doing some spring cleaning, setting stuff aside, just get stuff ready for Garage Sale Fest on 420. There'll be a link to get your spot put on a garage sale map for that day if you want, and we'll get that set up in the next few weeks. Finally, I just want to really appreciate the work the city's doing on the homeless front right now, because it isn't easy work and it's really thankless. But programs like safe parking, the ACES shelter, bridge housing, alternate response models, downtown streets team, and so much more. We just know that there's a lot of work to do. But I just like the way the city's acknowledging the problem and working to make it better. And thanks, Mayor.
All right, Jeremiah Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. There was one other thing I wanted to speak about, and that is on March 7th at the State Theater. I think I can talk about that, yes. At the State Theater will be the State of the City address by our very own Mayor Sue Zuwallen. That is free to the public, and it's at the State Theater. Doors open at 4:30. And I would hate for her to have to make her own announcement, so I'll just go ahead and make that. 4:30. City manager's doing some lip syncing right now. So hopefully you can make that March 7th, 4:30, doors open, State of the City address, Mayor Susan Wallen. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, and the speech will begin at 5:30, followed by our premiere of our documentary surrounding our Camp to Home initiative. Just a couple things. Jeremiah did mention the speech contest. This was the Hispanic Youth Leadership Council contest sponsored by our Latino Chamber of Commerce, and it was really inspiring to hear. It was 3 young women that gave beautiful speeches, and the one that won spoke, it was about influence of people in their lives, and she said her mi papa, about her father and the influence that he was in his life, and it was really touching. I also read to students at Martone Elementary, was invited there with 2nd graders and 4th graders, and that's really, there's just not a better way to spend a day than in a classroom with elementary students. They were so sweet and appreciative, so that was a great thing to do. I did that yesterday morning. So any other comments and reports from council members? All right, does the city manager have any comments and reports?
Not today.
All right, are there any matters too late for the agenda? Seeing none, I am calling this meeting of the Modesto City Council to be adjourned.